Mark, we need to talk.
Yeah? What about?
All you do is sit on your phone all day liking photos of other girls on Instagram. I mean, why do you do it when it makes me feel like shit?
I'm allowed to look.
Even though it makes me feel like shit when you do it.
I can't help if you're insecure.
How is it my insecurity when you've liked 30 photos of Steph this week? I mean, oh god, she's such a slut. Would you rather have her?
Oh God, I'm not dealing with this immaturity right now. It's one like.
One like of the same girl's photo 30 fucking times? Oh my god. You don't like any photos of your other chick friends when they're hanging out with their family.
I can like whatever I want, okay? I'm not sleeping with her, you should be grateful.
Fuck you!
Eesh. You've probably had a conversation like that or something similar to that in your relationships before. I was inspired to do this video by Magda, who wrote in with a question along this topic's lines. She said, Mark, what should a girl do when a guy is following hot girls on social media and constantly liking their pics? I don't mean his friends, I mean random, almost naked girls almost naked in every pic girls. Am I being crazy when I don't feel comfortable with that? Like he doesn't even know them, why does he have to do that? I must add that I don't do that with hot guys. I don't want to seem insecure. What should I do? Am I crazy? Well, this is the question that I want to answer you today. Once and for all, what do you do when your boyfriend or when the guy you're with likes another girl's photos? I'm going to show you exactly how to handle this situation and discuss some of the permutations with it that go on. I'll see you in just a second. All right, what do you do when your man is liking another girl's pics on social media? Now, this can be a muddy question. It sounds quite simple, but there's a ton of different scenarios, permutations that can go on. The reality is, it falls back to one central question. Am I being insecure here, and is this normal? Or is he disrespecting our relationship? That's the central question you've got to answer. Now, in many cases, the answer will simply be, hey, why are you paying so much attention to what your boyfriend's liking on social media? Live your own life, get out there, be your best self, and you won't be spending time thinking about it. And that's the end of the story. But there are also going to be occasions where the guy is genuinely disrespecting your relationship. And one of the most confusing parts is that respect changes for every couple. So we're going to talk about that. But the first thing you need to do, or the first three things, is to have the right mindsets and expectations. And so there's a few things I want to address before you talk to your boyfriend about this issue. The first one is the realization that he will be attracted to other women. So could this be an insecurity of yours coming through, misunderstanding the fact that your partner will be attracted to other women throughout your relationship? When a man commits, even if he's married, but when he just commits to a relationship, no matter when it is, it doesn't turn off the part of his brain, not permanently anyway, where he's going to find other people attractive. The most important thing is that he doesn't act on those urges. Now, what you've got to do is define what constitutes acting. And social media has created a whole bunch of new problems that never used to exist for previous relationships. And that's why we need to open the communication channels, which is what we're doing today. But the first thing is to understand that he will be attracted to other women, and that's okay. Throughout your relationship, his brain chemistry doesn't change. The important thing is that he doesn't act on it. The second thing is to check in with yourself. Are you liking at hot male surfers or at tradies without shirts, liking their photos constantly? Or maybe it's your friend who dresses up really nicely in a suit and you're constantly liking his photos. Check in with yourself and make sure you're not doing the same thing as well. Now, Magda mentioned at the start that she wasn't, but in a lot of cases, you'll find you too, as the relationship goes on, will find attraction for other people. That's normal. Again, it's part of your brain chemistry, and early on in relationships, sometimes that part of your brain will turn off. But on a long distance, on a long enough timeline, you will find yourself attracted to others. So check in with yourself and make sure you're not actually doing the exact same behavior. And the third thing, mindset question to ask yourself is the behavior progressing? We did a video some time ago on what to do when he says another girl's name in bed. And I asked my audience the question, I said, look, if this is the worst thing that he ever does, is your relationship all right? And look, a guy saying another girl's name in bed is pretty shit, let's be honest. But if it's the worst thing that ever happens in your relationship, you guys will get past it. And the same sort of concept applies here. If the behavior is not progressing, if he's always been like this, and this is the worst thing that ever happens in your relationship, the reality is you've got a pretty good relationship. On the other hand, if the behavior is progressing, if it's getting worse and worse, if he's liking more girls' pics, or maybe he's liking the same girl's pic more often, then it's a more serious concern and it's more likely that it's crossing that boundary of respect in the relationship. Okay, so now you've got a few important mindsets in your head to keep in mind before you have this conversation. Now, there's two very important things you've got to do when your boyfriend is liking another girl's photos. Number one, define the insecurity within yourself. And there's an important reason we're going to do this that I'll discuss at the end of the video. But how does it make you feel and what is the insecurity there? For example, if he's liking a celebrity's photos, you might go, the reason this bothers me is that I compare my body to hers. I feel like he wants her body more than mine and that I can't provide that. Or maybe he's liking a coworker's photos constantly. And maybe you say, the real insecurity here is that, well, I feel like I don't get enough of his attention. And yet he has time to sit on social media and like 10 of her photos a day and give her attention. The real insecurity often is not the photos themselves, it's what it brings out in you. And a lot of the times it's either a physical thing or an attention-based thing. I guarantee that if your boyfriend was giving you more quality time, focusing his attention on you, you'd probably be a lot less bothered by the photos that he likes on Instagram. So identify and be brutally honest with the real insecurity within yourself. Now, the second thing you've got to do is define respect in your relationship. And this is where the waters get really muddy because every relationship will define respect differently. You know, in some cases, there's couples that sleep with other people because they say, well, I can never provide everything for my man, so I know he's going to want sex outside the relationship. They have an open relationship and they consider that respect. In a much more conservative culture, you know, you can barely look at another man, let alone talk to one, without guys going, oh, what's she up to? That's disrespectful to her husband. Respect is a very fluid concept and it might be different for you as it is for your man. And this is where these communication channels need to open because not only do we have, you know, the practicalities of meeting people in real life, what constitutes normal flirting and what constitutes disrespecting the relationship in real life interactions, you now have what constitutes disrespect in online interactions. And this is something you and your partner have to discuss. So you want to have an open conversation and the best way to do this is to make sure that you're vulnerable with him. You see, when you're vulnerable and you open up about your insecurities, it makes people open up back to you. When they see that you're putting your neck on the line, rather than go after you, they do the exact opposite. They put their own neck on the line and want to be vulnerable with you. What I've got now is a way to do that, a way to approach this conversation where you're being vulnerable. Remember, you've answered what your own insecurities are, and you're going to then talk to your boyfriend to define respect in your relationship and ultimately answer the question from the very beginning as to, is this just me being insecure and I've just got to handle this and focus on my own life, or is this actually disrespecting our relationship?
Hey, can I ask you about something?
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, so I want to get your help on something, what you think about a certain situation that I've come across.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm not sure if this is just my brain kind of running around, but I've noticed that you've liked a lot of Steph's bikini pictures lately. And like, I hate how insecure it makes me feel, but I kind of want to see how much of this is just my problem and how much is something that we can work together through.
I mean, it's just a like. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. If I'm honest, like, Steph's really beautiful, and I know you're gonna find other girls attractive. Like, I'm not silly, but okay. I guess if I'm really honest, it's less about you liking Steph's pictures and more about the fact that I feel like we don't really get enough kind of quality time together as it is. And then when I see you liking these other girls' pictures, it feels like you would just rather be with them than me anyway. So I'm not saying that's exactly how it is, but that's just how it feels.
I mean, of course I want you over Steph. But of course I do.
Okay. Well, how about then, can I get your help with just redefining or defining what respect is in our relationship?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, you know, you were flirting with Steve the other night, and I felt disrespected then.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, yeah, well, thanks for telling me. Yeah, I appreciate it. Well then, how about we just have a talk and kind of really discuss where the line is. So, like, I know you're going to find other girls attractive, but you're going to be loyal through that. And by the same token, I'm going to have guy friends and I'm going to see them and hang out with them, and I'm going to be loyal through that as well. So, if we decide where the line is, then we can both kind of move forward knowing who we are, what our limits are, and kind of not feel restrained or restricted by anything, but also feel like we both know where the line is and we can both respect that within our relationship.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So you can see in that video, Jamia was vulnerable. She started the conversation by opening up. She still got respect. She was still firm, but she worked with him as a team rather than her versus him, and rather than saying you should do this and controlling him. She was taking ownership of her own insecurities and working with him to define respect in the relationship. And you might see right at the end, the kiss on the cheek. She emotionally rewarded the guy for opening up and saying something that maybe he thought that she wouldn't want to hear. It's very easy for guys to close off and not want to say things when they think you'll react badly. Whereas if you emotionally reward him, even if it's something you don't want to hear, you're emotionally rewarding him and making him feel good about communication and communicating with you and opening up those channels in your relationship so you can talk about this stuff. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the demos. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, etc. Put them in the comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up as you always do, and make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel and hit the little bell so you get notifications on when new videos are out. Thank you again for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video very soon.
Does my hair look done like this?
No, it's fine.
Okay. I'm so nervous.
Just do the first one, stuff it up, and then we'll get through to the text.
Yeah. I mean, good. That's it.
The frame, so you guys know, that sits about there, about just under.
Just underwear.
Nothing. Actually, yeah, bang, right there.
Through where?
Where? What's that called, Matt?
What's that?
What is this? Matt, don't be so crass.
That's really good. That's really good.
Oh God.
That's awesome.
Want to take one? Let's finish it.